Ow! Ow! Ouch! Ow! Ow! Ah, that's disgusting. Ow! 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 Stop! Puppets! Ow! 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 Oh no. But then someone told a lie. And that lie essentially has driven my entire career since then. So 2020 hasn't been the best of years, if I can put it that way. Sure, you'll probably agree, but the fact is, it's not actually the worst year I've had. It's weird, when all the like financial insecurity and stuff hit, I didn't really react as badly as quite a lot did, and it's probably because I've been there before. Because bad as 2020 has been, 2015 for me was much worse, or at least it felt that way at the time. But it was also actually one of the best years I've had, as well as being one of the worst. So I thought, while out running around the forest, and you're gonna like this run because I'm gonna go completely off trail and get myself all shredded up, so stick around for that. But yeah, so 2015 started really badly. At the start of 2015 I was unemployed, and Louise, wife, was also essentially unemployed. Louise's job had finished where she'd been working, and she was looking for something else. And around, I think it was February, March, I essentially lost my job at a startup that I've been working at. Basically, the startup didn't really do very well. It didn't succeed, it didn't really make enough money, and well, had some good times, but they came to an end, and I left and essentially lost 2 months income gone. It was rough, it was really rough, because we had saved up enough money. This was 5 years ago. We had saved up enough money for a deposit to buy a house, and over the next 6 months all our savings completely wiped out, because I spent a lot of it investing to get my business up and running again, and then Louise didn't have a lot coming in either. So yeah, completely cleaned us out. And even more than that, because I had to take out a few small loans and things as well. Oh, I shouldn't say so much of that uphill. Right, I'm heading off trail. There's a really nice spot around here that nobody really ever sees. This is pretty boggy. Oh, the wind is starting. Okay, so I'd fancied a change at this point. Ow! Ow! Brambles already. I'd fancied a change for a while. Prior to working in the startup, I'd been doing web design, and the crazy thing is, I genuinely thought I would work in web design my entire career. I thought I'd still be doing it when I was like, this is going to be interesting, when I was you know, I thought I was going to do web design, graphic design, until I retired. And I started doing web design, kind of what I'll say is the golden age of creativity on the web. It's back before YouTube, back before we had viral videos. We used to have viral websites because the internet was basically It was basically a creative playground for designers and programmers to do whatever they wanted. Like, do you remember websites like Weeble stuff? Badger. And rather than going to social media to find out what was interesting, people would instant message each other and text message each other off the trail links to websites that had something that had something interesting in them. So there's a website once called Subservient Chicken, which was basically a guy that set up, dressed, you turn into this website and there's a guy in a chicken costume and you could type in commands and he would like do them on screen, which seems really kind of simple and easy in 2020, but this was back when was Subservient Chicken. It was, ow, those are spiky. It was like, whoa, 2006, maybe something around that time. And just no one had really, so buggy, done anything like that before. So anyway, that was when I loved doing web design, because it was really creative. I could do what I want. I could just make these fun creative designs, and we had Flash. That's the other thing, we had Flash websites. Remember that animated website? Ooh, that's a nice view. Actually, I'm just gonna flip the camera around and let you see what this is like to run for a bit, and also so I can catch my breath. Don't break your leg. Ow, ow. Nope, absolutely not. Ow! But then came along web standards, and web standards. Okay, so let's be honest. Web standards were needed. The internet was a mess. It was a mess of creativity. Self-indulgent designers just doing whatever they wanted without a care in the world about how accessible the content was. And web standards changed that. Web standards said your website needs to actually be usable. It's not just somewhere for you to show off your design skills. The content needs to be accessible. That's what makes a successful website. So everything, all web design, like within a space of a few years, became information driven instead of design driven. That's why today most websites look the same. It wasn't that, have I gone the wrong way? I have gone the wrong way. It wasn't that way initially. Hold on. No, it's still up in here. I'm completely lost now. It wasn't that way initially. So all websites started to look the same, and then Apple basically killed off Flash because Apple decided not to support Flash on iOS, and then they pulled support for Flash on Safari, which basically was the final death knell that knocked Flash off the internet. And for me, I couldn't keep up. My thing was always that I did really creative stuff, that I did websites with interesting designs, and you know, and had them animated and things like that. You'll still see remnants of that on my Grafters Media website today. But websites just became more about the information and more about the technology behind the scenes to make that information accessible, and also to make it accessible cross devices. Sorry, this is probably really boring to anyone who's not interested in this as well. But long story short, I basically got worse at making websites as I went along, and it sucked the joy out of it for me. And then the bad experience with the startup, well, after I left anyway. Oh, well, how it ended, there were fun times. That bad experience left me not liking graphic design either, and I kind of thought, what about video? Because I'd actually been tinkering with video 10 years previous. I'd made stop motion animations, and I'd kind of messed around with webcams and stuff. Bear in mind, 10 years previous to this would be like 2005, or even earlier than that. I think I was doing some video stuff back in like 2002, 2003, but at that point there was no YouTube, and there wasn't even yeah, that's the other thing. I've always been into photography, and for me video was a drop down, a massive drop down, because at that initial stage when I was considering it way back, there were no cameras that could shoot video that looked as good as photographs. It just didn't exist. It wasn't until like the DSLR mirrorless revolution of sort of mid 2000s that it put really high-end looking imagery into the hands of everyday chumps like, whoo, like, oh, I like coming down here. Look, we're just coming down around the edge of the forest here, and we're going to be going in through here, and my plan is I'm going to go through here, break out the top into an area of new growth, and then just try and battle my way completely off trail back to where I started. I'm going to get so shredded. So yeah, these good quality cameras were suddenly accessible, so it finally seemed like an option to me. I'd always been interested in photography, so I knew how to make a good image. Video was just doing everything you do in photography except at 25 frames per second, plus a lot of extra stuff. Let's cut up this way. So I really wanted to do video, but I really wanted to do not just like standard commercial promos, because those to me have always been incredibly dull and boring, where you've got somebody sitting talking about how amazing their company is and then you just shoot B-roll. It's easy. Any twit can make a commercial video. It's really not that hard to make those style of video. I want to do stuff that had story to it, had narrative, had characters, had special effects, sort of project that I'd have to storyboard out, that I could write a script for, I could get other people involved, puppets. I want to do something like that, something character driven, and those kind of opportunities just really do not exist, or didn't exist, in small rural towns in Northern Ireland. But then someone told a lie. Someone told a massive lie, and that lie essentially has driven my entire career since then. And this is kind of the story of that lie. So what happened was, where am I going up here? There's a spot up here. We're going to start heading up into the trees. If I go up at the wrong spot, I'll get stuck. Is that it? Oh yeah, that's it over there. Okay, so what happened was, Ballymena, that's my local town, had recently undergone massive, devastating job losses. There were something like close to 1,000 like manufacturing type jobs were lost, whew, locally, and since then it's just been ongoing. I've gone the wrong way. And the high street was starting to die as well. A lot of shops were closing, a lot of charity shops popping up, and so there was this local business group got together and decided they want to do something about it, and as well as basically allowing businesses to all pay into a central pot, where they could, you know, spend money sort of improving things locally. Part of that was going to be spent in marketing, and they decided the very first Christmas that this whole scheme was put together that they wanted to do a Christmas advert. But they kind of wanted someone local to do it, but they didn't really know anybody, because at that point, if you looked locally this way, this is where this starts to get gonna get so shredded up in here. Last time I was up in here, I saw two what do you call them, pine martens. Two pine martens. They're like these big weaselly, giant weasel type squirrels. Right, I'm gonna shut up while I get through here, or maybe I'll just keep talking. Yeah, we're trying to find someone locally to do video, and if you looked locally, really the only, I do know where I'm going, sort of, the only people doing, doing video locally were wedding videographers, which is really not the same thing. But what happened was, a friend, we'll call him Gareth. We'll call him Gareth because that was his name. So Gareth was talking to somebody. Hold on, I'm gonna take his buff off him. Whoa, that wasn't here last time I was here. Look at this. Oh, I just took my glove off so I could point, and immediately I pulled the glove off with my finger after I touched the bones with my finger. So now I've got outdoor bone juice. That's disgusting. I'm gonna guess. Oh, and I've just gone and picked it up. Didn't even think, just picked it up. I'm gonna assume some like bird. There's be a lot of buzzards around here. It's maybe like brought its like a lamb in here to finish off. Oh, yeah. There's literally no path through here. I'm just tramping through this new growth to try and get out the other side. What was I saying? Yes. So Gareth ended up talking to one of the people on the committee, and they were asking him, possibly via email, do you know anybody nearby that does that can maybe make a Christmas ad? And then Gareth told them a lie. Maybe in his head it wasn't a lie, but it definitely wasn't true. He replied back, "Ah yes, Stephen Reid has been making great steps in the world of narrative filmmaking," and gave them my details. So not true in the slightest. I had one video project under my belt at this point. One video project that I'd done about 3 years previously. It was okay, but it certainly was not particularly... Ow! Ow! Spiky! Ow! Ow! So many brambles. It was not particularly narrative driven. Definitely wasn't. It was more kind of a montage with a little bit of a voiceover over the top of it. Where am I going? Let's just ply through here. Ow! No! Spruce or Spiky! Definitely was not narrative driven. Hold on. Let me catch my breath. So yeah, I had no business of even trying to get a project like this, but they contacted me and said, phone me up basically, would you like to do a Christmas ad? We wanted something maybe like one of the John Lewis ads. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes! Because that was exactly what I wanted to do, exactly. Oh, I got that phone call, it was just so amazing. And then they asked me to come in and sort of maybe just to have a chat with them initially about it. And at that point I realised if I go in here, I've got no portfolio, I've got no evidence that I should get this job. And definitely I should not get this job. So what I did was I spent ages watching, like every successful Christmas ad from the last 10 years. I watched them all and tried to figure out what it was that made them successful, and then came up with this story idea about this, basically this teddy bear that gets lost in the town, is abandoned on the street accidentally, and just spends all day searching for this little girl who smiled at him, and then finally at the end is reunited. Heartwarmer, tearjerker. So I storyboarded the whole thing out. My storyboards are terrible, but then I got my sister Naomi, who works with me quite a lot. She do editing and storyboard. She's basically the art department and an editor. She drew good versions of the storyboards. So then I went to the first meeting and pitched my idea, and the way I pitched it was I basically performed it. Read through the entire script and performed it as if I was talking to children. Like the whole thing, and tried to emote as much as I could. And I finished at the very end, went through the whole thing, and I just sort of stopped and looked down, and just silence. Absolute silence. Nobody was really reacting for a few seconds. And I noticed there was a couple of them had their eyes were a little bit red at the bottom. And when I saw that, I was like, yes. Because if you can make somebody cry with a Christmas ad or make them feel something, you're heading in the right direction. So I saw that. I actually can't remember anything else of the meeting. I knew there was maybe some kind of feedback back and forth, but I've no other memory other than that. But a few days later I got a phone call to say, love the idea, here's how much money we have, can you make the video? And I was like, yes. Like by like big advertising standards, it was not a huge budget, but for me it was like, I think 2-3 times the size of any other budget I'd worked with. Oh no, where am I going? I'm just gonna have to plow straight through there. Yeah, it was a lot more money than I'd worked with previously, and I had no right to get that project. No right. No, that's the crazy thing. Crazy thing at no. Ow! Ow! It hurts, mummy. Ow. At no point in this project did anybody from the group that gave me the go-ahead ask me for a portfolio. No one gave me, no one asked, no one ever said, you know, have you done anything like this before, can you show us evidence? No, just because the pitch won them over, and that was it. And I think there's a little bit of a lesson in that, and that sometimes you know you're capable of doing something, but you haven't been given a chance to prove it yet. And if you can just get the right set of circumstances and get a chance to prove yourself, you've got no idea where it can lead. Also, it helps if you have a friend who tells lies on your behalf. I did not lie. Never once did I lie. Garth told the lie, not me. Yeah. So over the next 2-3 years, we did 4 Christmas ads for the town, and massive success locally. And the success of those videos, they were seen like all over the country. The success of those videos basically drove my career in video since then. Should I tell you more about the making of the video? Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about making the video until I batter my way out of this forest. So, I mean, to make these videos, I had to build our own puppets from, well, I found a local woman who made these like memory bears that you could get made from like your kids' school uniforms, and then you'd have these bears forever made from the uniform. And I really liked the design. It was like a really traditional looking teddy bear, and I thought, it's neutral, it doesn't look branded, it'll be perfect for this. So I basically spec'd out that the body would be made from linen, locally produced linen, particular colour. I picked the fabrics and stuff like that, and I also redesigned the face slightly. I think we went through like 4 or 5 different versions of the face because I wanted the eyes in the exact spot and the mouth in the exact spot. So the bear was like collaboratively designed between me and Michelle until we got the design that we wanted. I got, I think, 3 of the bears, at which point I chopped their heads off, and we created 3 different versions. There was a hero bear which could stand up. There was a bear that could just, or no, there was a head turn bit that could just move its head. There was like a coat hanger down its neck, and you could twist it at the bottom, its head would turn. And then there was like a full puppet rig on the bear as well that it stood in the end of, and it could kind of shuffle. It could basically dance and move its arms and move its head all at the same time. And there were 3 different heads. So it's happy, neutral, and sad. And with those 3 heads, we basically shot the entire video. No budget for sets or anything like that, so we shot the entire thing on the street at night. Cars going past, tooting their horns, shouting abuse at us. Let's go this way. Shouting abuse, ow! Shouting abuse at us, and ow! 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 And at that point, oh no. Oh no. All I can see up here are brambles. Oh good, there's a way out. I'm bleeding, actually bleeding from several spots. Oh, we filmed on the streets at night, and we even, I spent a lot of the budget, but buying, oh, I'm nearly out. Oh, let's just get out of here. Yeah, I spent, oh, I'm in so much pain. Ow. Oh, my laces are out as well. Oh, just stuff it in there for now. So, because I knew there was only 2 of us, myself and my sister did the whole thing, we weren't going to have like a mad budget for lighting or anything like that. So I decided, well, if we're having to shoot with available, and we were going to be shooting in businesses that wouldn't close, because it's hard to get the buy-in of businesses coming up to Christmas to allow you to come in and shut down. So the businesses just stayed open, and we come in and basically shot around customers, which you can see in, the other one's out now, which you can see in some of the videos. You can just about make out customers in the background. So there's no shooting after hours, no weekend. It was live on the actual street. So yes, we couldn't be bringing in lights, so I basically bought the A7S, the original A7S, because it gave you the best image quality you could get at the time in low light, or in poor quality light in our case. And shot the whole thing with that. That's kind of how we made it. First year, just myself and my sister worked on it. I think it was just the 2 of us. In the second year, second, third years, the guy Tommy worked with us on it as well, and I've got some behind the scenes of the second year, but not any other years. If you watch to the end, I'll put in I think I'll put in a couple of the videos, and I'll put in some of the behind the scenes clips as well, so you can get an idea of what I've been talking about. But anyway, we made these ads, never been done, this kind of thing had never been done before. Picked up the newspapers, the news, TV news, radio stations, and yeah, it basically kick-started my video career, and it even led to me doing this kind of stuff as well, because it kind of got the attention of people working for the council who started following me on Instagram, saw that I was out doing stories, Instagram stories in places like this, and then I got asked to do local tourism work, which, when that was successful, that then led to me thinking, maybe I can do some stuff on YouTube as well. So I started doing this. Oh, look at this light. That is gorgeous. That's me back around where I started. Whew. Hang on, I'm gonna wait until I get into the shade here, because I can't see a thing. So yeah, what's my entire point with all of this? I guess my point is, you never quite know the things that are gonna... Okay, so here's the thing. If you're trying to get into doing any kind of this, like, if you're trying to become a creative, or a creator is the term used now, all you will be bombarded with constantly is people saying, you know, work your hardest, do your best, slave at it, hustle, hustle, hustle. And to be honest, I find the complete opposite to be true when it comes to, not the complete opposite, but it's really hard. Things have never changed for me based on me deliberately going for something. That's speaking from my own experience. Things have only changed for me when most of the time it's been other people, I guess, speaking on my behalf or recommending me, that's led to stuff. That's happened a lot more often than me just working really, really hard and hustling. In a way, I think that hustle culture is totally toxic, because it kind of creates this totally false notion that if you just work your backside off, you'll be a success. And it also pushes this false notion that money and success is the be-all and end-all. And it really isn't. It really isn't. There's just so many people spend their entire lives working and missing out on doing stuff with their friends and their family because they've just work. I'm not actually sure where I'm going with this. I guess my point is that I'm not actually sure what my point is. I'm not actually sure what my point is. But yeah, you never really know where the opportunities that are going to kind of change things for you are going to come from. And I just find that almost never, they almost never come from where you're told they're probably going to come from. So yeah, that is the story about how a completely untrue lie, I mean, by definition, lies are completely untrue. Well, that's up for debate in 2020. Oh, that's what I want to rant about, you know what? Because that frustrates me. That frustrates me. We now live in a society where truth is simply determined by who tells the best story, who makes the best argument, who not even that, it's not even who makes the best argument, it's based on who can come up with the wittiest insult, or who can like structure their own narrative around what they think is true. I feel like people don't want the truth. What we want is, we kind of decide what we want from life and sort of what our values are, and then we go in search of something that reinforces that. It's like you've got all these like rabid Apple and Android fanboys. Yes, I use that term. Who like hate the other side. Like, you know, Apple sucks, Android sucks, and all they do is like just spend time reinforcing that. Where am I going with this? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just mourning the death of truth in society today. But anyway, that has been my oh, that's a really short run. 1.25 mile run. I'm gonna go back now, head back to the house because I've got some furniture arriving. But yeah, that is the story of how my career was kicked off by a lie. So thank you, Garth Dickey. I'll flip around and you can just jog on. Ooh, what's up there? I've never been up here before. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, come on. Ooh. Maybe I'll do another video coming up here. Let me know if you like these extended single shot running video rants. Me spouting off anything that comes into my head. This is the kind of stuff that when I'm out running, I'll just like think through things and process stuff, and I guess this is me dragging you along for the experience. So yeah, if you want me to discuss any topics on these ranty runs, we should call them ranty runs. Oh no, that sounds like diarrhea. No, and I can't cut that now. No, not the ranty. Oh, the ranty runs is when you're really angry and you've got diarrhea at the same time. That's horrible. If there's anything you'd like me to discuss on my ranty runs, let me know. Oh. what, let's just count all the scrapes on my leg.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh dear, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14.
Oh, that's a bad one. We'll count that as like 15, 16, 17, 18. More blood. 19, 20, 21. There you go, 21 shreds in my leg. Hope you appreciate that.